Welcome back to another flow routine. Today we're going to work specifically on the front of the chest and the shoulder area. A lot of golfers that I speak to are quite stiff across the front of the chest, spending a lot of time on the desk, a lot of time on laptops, a lot of time on phones, shoulders are getting round forward, starting to lose a little bit of posture, and it really affects our ability to rotate into a good shoulder position and also to rotate the torso into a good position. So we're going to spend quite a lot of time on the front of the chest, open up the shoulders and try and improve the amount of rotation and good shoulder position we have at the top of our back. So we're not going to need any equipment for today's session as always, and we're going to work on the floor, slowly work our way up more into a kneeling position and then finish this position in a standing position, ready for you to go and finish the day, practice, work, play, whatever it is you have planned. So let's come down to our back, let's get started for today. So just with the feet tucked up, bum down, head resting on, we're just going to take the hands, place the hands on the stomach. We're just going to start with a little bit of breathing to get ourselves prepared for today. Just making sure we're taking nice full deep breaths in from the stomach. Nice strong exhales. Making sure we're really allowing the lower back to get grounded into the mat. Feel free to fidget around a little bit, make sure you're feeling comfortable, trying to get as much of the spine down to the floor as possible. Allowing the head to relax down. Shoulders tucked down and away from the ears. Working deep on your breathing. You just widen the feet slightly, just start to gently let the knees rock from left to right. Keep an eye on your breathing. So today's session is definitely going to be a little bit more upper half focused. I spend quite a lot of time on our shoulders, chest and neck. Again, it's really common for so many of us as golfers to spend time on the desk, working, bent over, driving positions. And then it's therefore not a surprise that we struggle a little bit with shoulder rotation, torso rotation and postural issues. So when you spend a little bit of time freeing this up, you'll notice a big difference in your movement in the golf swing. So let's start that process now. What we're going to do is we're going to take both feet, tuck both feet up. And first of all, we're just going to work on taking these arms directly up and above the head. So I'm going to bring both hands up in front of the chest. Hands reaching towards the sky. And we're really going to try and reach these arms long and away from us, keeping the arms straight and keeping the arms very close to the ears. As we then take the hands down, long through the shoulders, long through the arms. And then we're going to try and get these hands working down towards the floor behind us. And what I want you to try and be aware of here is we're not allowing our lower back to round up. So we're trying not to let the lower back come lifting off the floor. Really try and keep the core engaged, glutes squeezed, rib cage tucked down as we then allow these arms to work up and above the head. We're going to have a big long reach up ahead of us, really trying to reach those hands down to the ground, but also trying to reach them as far away from our head as possible, keeping the arms long, arms next to the ears, and then bring the hands back up in front of the chest. Back down for our second repetition, reaching the arms long, really trying to stretch long from the shoulder. Fingertips nice and long, arms long. Working back to the middle. And then you can play with hand position. If you want to have the hands facing each other, you can. If you want to have the hands facing away from each other, that's fine. Reaching long through the arms, big long reach. And back to the start position. Good work. Take the hands back down into the resting position. What we're now going to do is we're going to move one elbow out to the side. So I'm just going to take my right elbow, keeping it on the ground. I'm going to take my right elbow out so it's at 90 degrees from my body. And then I'm going to make sure that my forearm then is perpendicular to the floor. So I've got a 90-degree bend in my elbow and a 90-degree bend in my shoulder. Now all we can do from here, trying to keep the right shoulder flat down to the floor, trying to keep the rest of the posture fully engaged and neutral. I'm just going to start to work this back of the hand down towards the ground and then the palm of the hand down towards the floor. What you'll find as you move the palm towards the floor, this shoulder is going to want to roll up a little bit. So really try and be strict with yourself to keep this shoulder down and back, and we shouldn't actually have as much range working the hand down to the floor as we should for the knuckles down to the floor. So for most golfers I work with, we try and aim for the knuckles to be able to get to the floor in this position, which shows a good amount of external rotation in the shoulder. But palm moving towards the ground, around 45 degrees of rotation is sufficient here. So if you're really able to force it down, it probably means that you're lifting the shoulder up. So just be aware, keep the shoulder pinned down and just start to work the palm down towards the floor. Work back and into the knuckle, back down to the ground. This is our external rotation. And then palm down to the floor. We're just taking the shoulder through its full range. Our shoulder should be able to access these positions on demand. And what I like about this starting position is it already being on the ground takes you into a good posture. So for a lot of people, if they were standing here, they would have rounded shoulders, but you being on the floor is really taking the pressure off the spine, pulling the shoulder blades down and back, and it's actually allowing you into a better position. So this is where we can start to really work on some of our full range. What we'll then do is we'll take ourselves into a kneeling position and force ourselves into this good position in a second. So a few more repetitions here on the right side, palm down, knuckles down, a couple more here. Good work, take a rest on that right side, let's move on to the left arm. So we're gonna bring elbow again out to the side, 90 degree with the shoulder, 90 degree with the elbow, and then we're just gonna take palm down towards the floor and knuckles down to the floor. And what I want you to be interested in here is there much difference between left and right? So for me, definitely I feel a little bit stiffer in this left side. And then I can try and pinpoint exactly where that is. So for me now, I feel like as I work backwards, I feel a little bit more tightness across the front of the chest maybe than I did on the right side. That just tells me that maybe there's a little bit of extra work that needs to be done on this left chest. Maybe I'll do some specific mobility work now on this left chest area to try and match that up. But it's normal for us as golfers to have one side that's a little bit different to the other. We play a sport that is very one-sided. Therefore, it's common for us not to be fully symmetrical. What we can do is spot that and then try and do some work to chase that symmetry. Good work, just do a few more here on this side. And if you are severely restricted in the shoulder area, this would be kind of almost like a test within the work that we're doing here. So if this is significantly tight and you're nowhere near able to get the knuckles down to the ground, then it's definitely worth spending a little bit of extra time on the shoulders. And I've got an extra video that I will share that will work specifically on shoulder rotation. Good, last repetition there. Good work, just take the hands, reach up ahead of us, stretch that off a little bit. And then all we're gonna do is we're gonna roll around onto a position on all fours. So you can spin yourself around and up when you come into a position on all fours. And we're just gonna work a little bit now on being able to extend this shoulder up and out ahead of us. So we're going to work in all the positions that the shoulder should be able to work in. So the first thing we're going to do is come into our nice neutral all fours position. So spine nicely engaged, core engaged, glutes engaged. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to start to make a really strong fist with one hand. I'm going to do right hand first. I'm going to move this arm out and ahead of me, trying to be long through this fist. And then I'm going to bring it back down to the mat. I'm then going to take it out to the side, long through the fist. And then I'm going to take it at a 45-degree angle, again being long through the fist. So I'm really trying to work some of these small muscles in the shoulder and in the mid and upper back. I'm starting to re-engage some of these muscles that get weak when we don't spend a lot of time working on them, especially if we spend a lot of time at the desk. But if we can improve the activation and strength of these muscles, it will help with our posture and then help us have a little bit more range in the way that we're working the shoulder. So I'm reaching up in front of me, out to the side, and then out at a diagonal. We're going to do one more of each. So up in front of us, long through the fist, out to the side, and then out on a diagonal. Move on to the left hand, right hand comes down, long through the fist in front, out to the side, out on the diagonal. Keeping all the rest of the body engaged. Work a little bit on some core strength here. We're also interested, is there a difference? Left arm to right arm. We're going to do two more of each. Working out to the side, keep an eye on your breathing. You guys are doing great. To the 45-degree angle. One more of each, up in front of us. Out to the side. And then across on the diagonal. Great work. We're going to spin around. We're going to come onto all fours. I'm going to come to face you guys. So we've done a lot of work now on trying to take this shoulder into a better position, and already you might feel like that's improved a little bit. But we did that with the help of the ground. So the ground was actually helping pull the shoulders down and back, and that was helping us create a little bit more space to create this rotation. So if I was to actually round my shoulders over, this would now suddenly feel really restricted. So what we get you to do is come into a position that feels comfortable. I'm on my knees here. This might be being sat down for you, might be a little bit more comfortable. And I want you to work on really trying to pull the posture up and round. So I'm being nice and tall for my chest, my shoulders down and back, and then I'm going to take my hand into that same position that we worked in on the ground. And the only difference now is I've got myself into this nice tall position, and then I'm just going to rotate away from me. Come back to my start position. I'm going to rotate away. Back to the start. Rotate away, and what I can feel is as I rotate, I feel a little bit more of a stretch coming to the front of the chest. I feel this big chain across the stomach, working into this opposite shoulder. And also I feel my back muscles are starting to engage differently as I have to rotate and then turn. Starting to see how this can work nicely, strongly into our back position here, into our backswing. Same with the left side, I'm going to rotate, I'm going to turn, back to center, I'm going to turn, do 2 more here, back to center, I'm going to turn, and then last one, back to center, and turn into that position. Good work. We're going to take both hands, place both hands into the bottom part of our back. We're going to squeeze these elbows back in together. We're going to lift up nice and tall from the chest, lift up nice and tall from the chest. We're going to take a few breaths here. So nice deep inhale through the chest, exhale, nice strong inhale, and exhale, getting a really nice stretch across the front of the chest and front of the shoulder here. We're going to do 2 more good breaths. Exhale, and last one here. And exhale, good work. We're going to put both hands down, we're going to tuck the toes under, lift ourselves into a nice deep squat position. And then very slowly start to work your way up, all the way into a standing position. And then just from our standing position with the hands out to the side of us, we're just going to rotate round, take a nice full deep breath in. And exhale. Round to the other side, full deep breath in. And exhale. We're going to lift left ear to left shoulder. Right ear to right shoulder. Let the head become very heavy in front of you, chin to chest. And then nice and tall through the chin. Pull the shoulders up, take 1 more deep breath in. And exhale. 1 more deep breath in, shoulders up. And exhale. Guys, fantastic work. Really, really well done for getting today's sessions done. Hopefully you feel a lot better across the shoulder, across the chest, across the neck. Hopefully you feel like rotation is freed up a little bit. Shoulders turn has freed up a little bit. Hopefully feeling like you're getting rid of that desk posture and tech neck. Great work, and I'll see you on the next video.